All right, guys, welcome to Doing Dope Things, the podcast. My name is Tex.
My name is Franco, and we have our guest here. Go ahead and introduce yourself so people get to know who you are.
Yes, so my name is KeAndre. I'm from Alabama, and I have the food platform called My Southern Brand that highlights black-owned restaurants here in Houston, Texas.
So, first of all, just starting off, how did you even get into that? Because I know, there's a lot of pages out there that share food and stuff and share just all kind of stuff. But to not only start that and keep it going, but to get it to the point to where My Southern Brand is, what was that like? Take us through it.
I mean, I like to eat. I'm a pretty solid guy. So I grew up eating pig feet, chitlins, collard greens, probably drinking it out of the bottle. You know what they call it, pot liquor. So it was real easy to transition into a food blogger and then just come up, with a food platform because, being in Houston, it's a whole bunch of food, So it was just almost inevitable to do.
That's true. Because
it just almost like all this food, why not put it on the platform?
So I know you say you're from Alabama. So when you first came down here, I know you didn't know all these food places off the top of your head. I know you didn't really have that familiar, or unless you did, I might be mistaken. So what was your experience with Houston food for the first time, or what kind of drew you to it?
So Houston food is really no different than Alabama food.
Really?
It's still the South, so it's not like I went to New York or somewhere like that. But I would say the only difference in Houston food is definitely more Creole inspired and a lot more seafood. But a lot of things that people down here in Houston eat, I grew up eating it. So
now, with that being said, what was the very first restaurant that you actually reviewed and that said to myself, okay, this is really what I want to do?
Or something was it something you felt so strongly about it after you ate it that you're like, man, I got to put this out there so people know, kind of thing?
Okay, let me tell you about the first thing that really got me into this food blogging thing.
Okay.
So folks know I love crawfish, and I can't stand that stuff on the outside. It look like throw up. Why would you?
What stuff? What stuff are you speaking of?
The seasoning, the sauce on the outside. It's stuff to me. I don't know what it's called. that ain't dope things. That ain't dope. So, so I'm like, okay, let me find some crawfish. Crawfish places that actually have the authentic Cajun style. For sure. So he was like, this guy that I know, he was like, bro, you just need to become a food blogger because you always talk about crawfish. So that was something that I first really ate here in Houston that I really liked.
How long have you been here?
6 years.
Okay.
But as far as restaurant, I'm trying to figure out which restaurant it is. I gotta go all the way back.
We're taking it all the way back.
I gotta go all the way back. I would probably say Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club.
That's the answer for a lot. We have an inside joke with the show.
So, the Breakfast Club is often mentioned on Doing Dope Things.
I want to preface this by saying I love the Breakfast Club.
Yes, before we say anything.
Yeah.
We love the Breakfast Club. Marcus Davis, we appreciate everything that you have done for the city restaurant wise because I really love Reggae Hut. But I believe that once food TV started coming to Houston, the Breakfast Club became a place. It's a tourist trap to me now, and the food, while still good, it is not at the bar it was when I first started eating there. I will say that out loud. Unfortunately, I may not be in the same boat as everyone else, but everyone is entitled to their opinion. So, but the Breakfast Club it was for you. What drew you to it?
I mean, the way what you said, I'm like, I can understand it, because when something becomes a tourist trap, it does lose its authentic touch.
It's the Galleria Mall of restaurants in Houston now.
You sure about that?
Well, see, this is the thing.
You sure about that?
This is the thing because we're talking about.
I'm kind of stopping because I'm like I don't want to say too much, but you sure about that?
I mean, again, you have your platform. Yeah, we have ours.
I would say maybe the Memorial City Mall.
So this
Maybe
is
go
an
ahead.
interesting point though, because there's a lot of food blogs, there's a lot of food media, people who do that kind of stuff for a living, and I feel like it's very easy for someone to come from out of town or someone who doesn't really, they're not from the South, so they don't understand the culture. So it's a linchpin in that sense. It's something that stands. It's kind of a
well, not
it's
really.
institution in Houston.
I mean, so in the black culture, when we see a line, I don't know about everybody else. When we see a line, we feel like it's popular.
Exactly, it's the same thing with like a taco stand for us.
Yeah, so it's like when we see a line, like we feel like
that's the place.
That's the place to go. But I ain't finna stand in no line out in this heat. So I know to go to the Breakfast Club at nighttime.
I got you.
Because they be open from 10 to 3.
They do.
Correct.
And see, that's a whole different experience too, because the Breakfast Club is a breakfast club, but if you go at night, after a certain type of activities,
this problem, and then it's mostly when a lot of the locals go as well.
That's true.
So go ahead.
Maybe that's it for me. I can no longer go during the day.
Though. I'm sorry, to answer your question, I do like the chicken.
Okay, now for those that don't know, will you please tell everyone what your favorite food is though, other than crawfish? How do you judge? Okay, so this gentleman, yes, this gentleman judges a restaurant based on their French fries. If they have, not judges them, but it could bring it down just a little bit for you.
You know what? It's kind of, but you wouldn't even know what my favorite. My favorite French fries is not. Unfortunately, not black owned. It's McDonald's fries, and I had that two Fridays. Well, not 2 Fridays, but 2 days ago. So
the consensus on French fries is McDonald's is the best fry.
Exactly.
I mean, like they kind of invented the French fry as we know it.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I like. If it's not McDonald's fries, I'm kind of like, but a lot of people have really like surprised me about French fries because every restaurant French fries taste different. You know what I'm saying? So I do like 5 Central's French fries. 5 Central over there in River Oaks, off of Virginia Street.
Okay.
It's
is that River Oaks or Upper Kirby?
I mean, I guess where they come together at.
Okay.
It's real wishy-washy in their area.
Okay.
So they got real good French fries. So I definitely put them at the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other question I have for you. How much travel time do you take out of your day to go eat at these different places? Because this is a big city, and you go to a lot of it.
Yeah.
What's the travel time like? So let's say, do you, on a day of, I guess, food blogging, do you get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to hit this specific area. I'm going to hit these specific restaurants, no matter where they are. Tell us the day in the life of a food blogger.
So it's actually funny because when I was working as an engineer, like on every other Fridays, I worked at Chevron. And so every other Friday we would be off. And I just like travel to like the north side.
But you were working up in the Woodlands, no? Or Chevron?
Oh, no, Chevron up here in downtown.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I would just be touring Houston because, of course, as a transplant, I need to know where things at, because as a local, right. y'all just stay in y'all little spot. For us, we got to find like barbershop, we got to find the hospital, we got to find different other resources. So I would just go out and just drive. And so now that I'm a food influencer, because I influence people to go to eat at restaurants.
Yeah.
So okay, so I mostly just go to Third Ward, right? Because that's where a lot of the black culture is. And so if I'm feeling a certain type of way, if I'm feeling homesick,
sure.
I go to the north side because the north side remind me of home with all the tall pine trees. So I kind of like go on Instagram, try to find what's on the north side before I, hit the road. It's a road trip, and then I say, okay, well, let me go and hit up this spot, and then while I'm up here, I can go to 2 other different places. But a lot of times people do just call me or they hit me up on Instagram and be like, can you come up here on this day? And then again, while I'm up there, I hit up another spot. Okay. You know, because going from where I stay at, close to Pearland, all the way to 1960 is a hike.
That's a whole day.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. Yeah, it's 45 minutes in good time. So, but to really answer your question, everything is sporadic.
Okay, that's a good deal. Now, the other thing. So, when did you start the blog, by the way?
2018. I'm about to say 2014 when I graduated, but 2018.
So, with that being said, from 2018 to now 2020, there's been a change. Obviously. How are you seeing the businesses? Did all of the business that you originally started off enjoying, loving? I see a lot of businesses are not making it fully through the pandemic right now. What are the things that you saw that may have helped some of these businesses stay afloat, other than, of course, cash? I mean, that's like, that's, one thing. But what is it when you look at a black-owned business or a business period, a black-owned business, what is it that you see that makes some stand out from others? Aside from the food. Let's take the food away. Because if you eating there, obviously you like it.
Yeah. So I would say that with the platform the size of mine, there is a lot of opinions coming from my followers. Okay. So the inside of my DMs are like, yep. So
I feel that.
So with that, like, I have to be able to kind of condense all of their grievances, their feedback, and try to come up with like a checkbox. And so what each restaurant had to have is, of course, good food.
Hell yeah.
Customer service, because that's something that we kind of lack.
The food will get prices, you in, but treating people right, that'll keep them coming back.
Right. Yeah. Prices, the cleanliness.
Yeah, for sure. Especially now.
Yeah. And then the, excuse me, I butchered this word, authenticity.
You actually got it right on.
The authenticity, I've been practicing it. It's one of the words I couldn't say. So those are five different things that I've come up with based on the grievances of my followers. And so that's how I pretty much grade the restaurants. And so to really get down to the meat and potatoes of the question, of course, cash flow is what keeps the restaurant.
Who's that?
This your phone?
I guess so.
It's all right. We're still.
It's an alarm. I think.
I thought it was a band, marching band playing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I marched bands outside.
No, that's an alarm.
You ashamed?
No, I'm not ashamed. Actually, be honest with you, we've had worse stuff happen during something like this.
Yeah.
But the one thing I wanted to talk about, another thing I wanted to talk about.
Well, so
that's the median.
So, but in order for that to like those 5 check boxes must be checked in order for that black restaurant to differentiate itself from the next.
I got you. So that's like the baseline. That's the cost of doing business.
And how many times do you go to a restaurant before you truly feel like, okay, I can fully put myself, my influence behind this particular?
Well, first, money is always the same. Right. I mean, because I'm saying I was doing this for free, but now I stopped doing that because folks is riding the coattail.
Gotcha.
So with that, of course, I got to let them know that you got to pay me first.
Well, see, at this point, you're providing a service.
Yeah,
given
bro,
your following
service.
Given the following and your, basically your stature as far as people look to you for food recommendations.
And so pretty much, again, if you just have that taste, it's good because of course, you may not see the cleanliness for real because a lot of places are doing
takeout only,
and then a lot of places that I got on my platform are food trucks, so you can't look up in there anyway. Okay, unless you tall and you
unless you're my mom,
you're just looking in there. So, of course, I just had to really eat it one time because again, I know our food. I know what it tastes like. So at the end of the day, it has to be good. But then I do think about what my followers would think when I'm eating it.
So when speaking of our food, there is something that I have saw on your page that I thought was quite funny, but at the same time quite truthful.
Oh,
You
Lord.
want to see
I'm nervous.
us in the kitchen of the places that are cooking this particular food.
Like Guy Fieri.
Yeah, because let me tell you.
This why I'm looking funny because I don't know what you got some curveballs.
So basically, what I'm stating is when I go to a
Lord.
Chinese restaurant, I don't want to see Franco in the kitchen.
Pretty much.
Okay.
This is the thing. Look, this is the thing though, because I'm from Los Angeles. I'm a transplant too, but there is something that's very universal across the United States, no matter where you're at. Is that most restaurants got Mexicans working in the back. That's just what it is.
I wanted to record this so folks on my page can see what he just said. Cause are you a Hispanic descent?
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
No. Can I? Well, Mexican descent.
We'll send you a clip of this part right here just for you
I want to dig deeper into this. Can we dig deeper?
Yeah, we have no problem. That's what we're here for.
See, here's the thing about it. See, in Alabama, it's only black and white.
Yeah.
And so, in a black-owned restaurant, we're gonna have black cooks. In a white-owned restaurant, you're gonna have white cooks. I mean, and it's nothing it's nothing racist about it. It's just that's your culture. Like
that's
right.
So in Houston, with all these black folks here, it's like you mean to tell me you can't find no black folks in the kitchen. So with that, I just don't. First of all, I don't like it because it takes away the authenticity of the food. You know
you're absolutely right.
Because do you know how to fry chicken?
I know how to fry chicken the way I know how to fry chicken. But is it something that, I would put up against somebody else's fried chicken? Probably not, especially somebody black. I'm just, just keep it real.
Can you make potato salad? Even if you had a recipe?
Probably not. I'm going to keep it real now.
Okay. Would you know how it tastes?
Generally speaking, yeah.
If I tell you that I need some more Tony Satras in my gumbo, just hypothetically,
yeah,
would you know how much to put in it?
No. Like, unless somebody was there and, taught me and not just taught me. I was in that environment for a long time, seeing how it's done properly, consistently, in a certain, amount. You're making enough to, to feed the whole restaurant.
But you know how to make a corn tortilla.
I mean, even that, man.
No, I'm saying, but you will know how to make it more than I do because you grew up on it.
Probably so, yeah.
So, how would you feel if you saw me and him cooking at what's the all Memphis or something like that, original Memphis, whatever it's called?
I mean, I don't think I would say anything. However,
but you want to experience somebody's culture. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's honestly having my background, what I came up, what I saw my people doing. Would that surprise me? Yes, but not for the reason that you would think. The reason why that would surprise me is because, at least here in Houston and from my experience in Los Angeles, it's a lot of, not just Mexican, a lot of Hispanic people wind up in that profession just because it's the lowest,
I want to talk about that too. As black people, why
are we turning down these jobs?
No. But what he just said, Hispanics are treated as the lower tier of people in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So weren't we just that not too long ago?
And acting like we above that?
Yeah. I'm just saying, and you get these illegal immigrants, of course, because they are illegal, right?
Yeah.
And so which means they don't have no Social Security.
Exactly.
I don't know how it works.
It's under the table, so you could essentially pay them however you want.
Yes. And so to me, it's like why do somebody like that?
So I mean, it's a very niche thing because you're talking about immigrants. Both of my parents were immigrants too. None of them worked in the kitchen. I actually want to work in the kitchen for a little bit, but that's circumstances. But people come here and they'll literally do anything, and if that means working under the table, at a restaurant, for some people that's just what it is.
But what you're saying is your conscience cannot allow you.
It can't. My taste buds can't get hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like seriously, how do you feel about that? Being as because I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. I mean, we can't be racist, but I'm not the type of person that hate somebody for who they are. But I just don't like seeing Hispanics in our kitchen. I just don't like that from a cultural standpoint and from it looks like a soup kitchen standpoint. This look like slavery back here in this kitchen.
Yeah,
I got these amigos back here in the kitchen. They're gonna do everything that I say. They're gonna be submissive. Mm-hmm. They don't give us no lip, but y'all probably cussing us out in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you still can't treat people like that.
It's a dynamic. So,
So how do you feel about that?
So me being how I am,
mm-hmm.
People come here and they come here to work and stuff like that. It would be very hypocritical of me saying that I don't want people in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of what it is just it's a combination of people taking advantage of cheap labor. It's people having to work those jobs because there's really no other choice. And it's in a bigger picture, it's the government allows people to do that. There may not be any laws, for that specifically, but the way the system works is like things are allowed to happen under the table like that. So,
but you see that it's an issue, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. From your perspective.
Yeah. Yes, but do I see it as? I mean, again, just looking at it from my perspective, it's something that I see as necessary as far as people from our community. I see what you're saying as far as like the authenticity and the way people run businesses, and just for the sake of doing it correctly. Like just in that sense alone, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the reality is that it exists. How can we begin to move past this and push the consciousness forward on this? I think it starts with paying people like the correct amount that they're supposed to be paid for how much they work.
Exactly.
And making sure that there's a process for people that come here to be able to enter the workforce and not have to do things like that.
Exactly.
I think that's where the start is. When we get to should Mexicans be in a black kitchen, generally speaking, no. But I could see a situation where someone gets hired, someone gets trained, someone is, they're trusted with something like that, with a recipe, with a way of doing something. I could see something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're speaking in generalities, then no, obviously not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to turn this way.
So I'm going to answer the same question.
Okay.
Now, for me.
No, this is good, by the way.
Yeah.
This is good.
For me, I don't really think about it that much because, number one, most of the places that I go to, especially when it comes to black places, I know it's blacks in the kitchen.
Which ones is that so I can write them down?
Well, I'm just saying, so let's take Chicken Plus, which you still.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, because I can see the kitchen. See, a lot of places that I like to go, I like to be able to see the kitchen.
Because you go to most on the north side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I like to be able to see the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, people often laugh at me because I don't use a drive-through at most places.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to Whataburger, I go inside. Unless it's too late. I'm just saying, just in general, I try not to I use them now because I don't have a choice. But before, I would go inside. I like to see everything that's going on in whatever restaurant that I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But the other thing is too, if you own a black restaurant and you're using whatever other label it may be, white, Hispanic, whatever, who are you actually leaving this restaurant to? Who are you teaching these things in order for this business to stay in your family? You know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing I can say about Burns, I don't eat there that often, but I know that when it's all said and done, a Burns is going to own a Burns. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's more about legacy. Because you can teach anybody how to cook.
Do a little Wayne Dang doodle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can teach somebody how to cook. Yeah. If they know if they've been, and plus you got to realize some people, and even in just 5-star restaurants, some of those people that started off as line cooks been with that same chef for 10, 15 years and made their way all the way up the thing. So
you don't know how to do that.
but we have to. Who are we training to come up behind us?
So this is and this is probably a teaching moment for you because we telling our business. We telling the folks business, but we do it anyway to ourselves. So what happened is we degrade our own people, and so I connected, the way that how a lot of our black men go outside the race to date non-black women because they're submissive.
Wow.
Or they do what you say and things like that. That's how a lot of black restauranters are. They want somebody to hush. They don't want nobody to give them attitude. And then with that, they degrade us by saying that we lazy, we come to work high. Pretty much the same thing that society says about us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I ain't been that deep into it, but I understand what you're speaking on. When
they be saying, they told me that.
Okay.
A person said that I would never hire another nigga to work in my kitchen.
Crazy.
No, a black man said that I would never hire another nigga to work in my kitchen ever again. And so I'm like,
is this person on your list?
They closed.
Okay,
they closed. They closed, but they on the page. They ain't gonna tell you who it. I mean, I said who it was, but because they closed down. But I already know you already gonna ask me. You already gonna ask me who it is. But it goes back to slavery. How our thinking is as black men, we seek validation from others except for our own. We validate others except for our own as well. And so with that, that phenomenon does and that pattern does affect our restaurants. Okay. It affects because when you go to a black woman-owned restaurant, you ain't gonna see that. Or when you see a married couple's restaurant, you're not gonna see that. You're gonna see grandma back there. You're gonna see auntie back there. You're gonna see the cousin back there because. Craving it, for example, Raven, she training her cousin to one day own a food truck. She already got a guy from Prairie View that she met who is going to, run her new location. So it's just things that like that where you talking about the legacy that a lot of us as black people really don't think about because all we want to do is make a dollar.
So let me and I'm just.
I hope they want too much.
It's not. It's actually
okay. Because that ain't dope shit right there. That's.
Well, I mean, I say it like this because one of the reasons why we started this, or at least for me, and I've talked about this with Franco, I may not have put everything on all the respect on my parents' name that I should have, and part of this was me to reclaim some of my legacy. I'm actually kind of glad that my daughter's sitting right over there right now because. These are things that some of these things we haven't got to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But these are things that she's going to need to learn. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And whether it be learning it through watching me do something like this or just through my actions, it is what it is. Now, and I like how you were talking about the young lady from Craving It. Yeah. The reason why I like that is because it seems to me that she is actively recruiting as opposed to just accidentally finding someone. She is actively making sure that this is going to live beyond her.
Yeah. And then I saw it was crazy. Her nephew had like some of the words. I was like, y'all can have that. I mean, we family. You know how we have that. I know y'all pretty have it too. Like where we have it's just kinship, right?
Right.
And so, but anybody else probably would have, you fired instead of just we gonna talk this through,
right?
Because you still valuable at the end of the day, even though we just had a disagreement.
Yeah.
You gave me lip. But then a lot of these people, they complain about the employees, but they don't complain about themselves because they don't look at themselves like they don't look at the mirror because everything comes from the top.
I mean, they're the biggest employee.
Yes,
they are an employee.
No, I'm saying so as a restaurant owner, they think that everybody's supposed to bow down to them. But as a leader, you're supposed to be submissive as well, but not submit to the point where you are beneath your status or your actual assignment. But you still, being submissive is recognizing and understanding your faults and how to be able to communicate effectively with the people that's under you. Because if you don't know how to lead, and everything else will fall.
So I have a question, and this is kind of something into that. So when you receive all of these DMs and these grievances, how do you approach these business owners and say, hey, this is what I'm hearing about your restaurant. These are some things you might want to look at. Are you also, because let me just be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
That's a tough situation.
No, because see, I'm busting up out at the seams because I really want to, you know what I'm saying? I really want to get niggerish on this. Okay, so keep going. That
seems like it would be, because you're not paid as a consultant per se, in which you might not possibly want to give them this information. I'm just letting you know that there's a couple of other businesses I've been thinking about that you need to have, but we'll talk about that off camera. But how do you approach a business owner and say, hey, look, these are what the people are coming to. You've been wondering why. You've been calling me and say, hey, man, I really ain't been seeing the same traffic since I really started with you. Well, here it is in black and white what these people are saying about you. How do you approach them and let them know, hey, this is what's going on?
See, I'm going to say that ain't never happened. Where, see, when I post, a lot of folks sell out.
Right, but I'm just saying.
So with that, but I do go and let them know what's going on. Like I try to give them to them in a nice little present. But at the end of the day, we just don't know how to take criticism as people. Just anybody.
That's true.
Just anybody.
Just hearing anything about yourself makes you defensive.
Yeah, it makes you defensive. But it's like it's. I can tell you who that soul food. Food truck, Kid Creole, they are very receptive to feedback.
Okay.
And so they take everything into perspective because they understand that criticism, whether good, bad, or different, is what's going to help them to grow.
That's true.
You know, and they not tasting the food like we are. You know, because everybody got different taste buds. You may have a pregnant woman that's going through hormones. You may have somebody from India who don't know what they tasted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then somebody who had it yesterday didn't have it today, and it's two different things. So, a lot of, I would say, some people, they can get real ignorant, and it's like I would say, look, this is me and my followers. Let me show you. It's this my followers, 2 followers, they'll send me an interview of how they felt that the food was, like a legit interview, like it's very thorough. Or then they write long paragraphs to let me know what's going on. Whereas some people be like, it wasn't nasty. I mean, it wasn't good, or the man's fingernails weren't clean, or something like that. They look at all that stuff,
right?
So
let me ask you this, because I can see how you could find yourself in a situation where, someone approaches you for something like that, but then the food's not good. And, like, you're kind of in that situation where, has that happened? Where you're like, I don't know if I want to...
there is one restaurant that everybody talks about that is nasty.
I mean, you don't got to say names, but...
No, I'm not.
But tell us about that, like...
Okay,
like when you get involved with something like that, you kind of realize that.
So here's the thing, and then this is when I found out that having other people besides black people was funny.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so having other people besides black people in the kitchen. So this is a restaurant that had undergone 2 different names. So I went there. And I'm
that's a bad sign already. Not to cut you off, but if something
same owners, 2 different names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I went to the restaurant, and I always say, "Hey, I'm a food blogger." Yeah. This when I was this big. So then I went. Me and my cousin, my homeboy Simo, we both from Alabama. So fried fish is something that we eat all the time, right? So we went to this restaurant. Of course. Almost every black owned restaurant is Creole, Louisiana style.
Right.
So we went there, and I told the waitress that I'm a food blogger, and what on the menu is a great big old menu. Yeah. What on the menu should I get? So she was like, we don't get this.
Oh shit.
Or that.
That's what she started with?
Yeah, or this. And I was like, why? Because she said the black cook is not bad. The black chef is not bad.
Oh shit.
So then I was like, well, let me get some fish. I got the fish. David messed it up. And I'm like, oh my God. So not only was it messed up, but it was sway. It was swallow, however you say it. Yeah. So it's, there's fish that don't got no taste to it, but Houston restaurants sell that.
Yeah, because it's here.
I can't stand it. But anyway, so then I didn't put it on my page. I took a picture and everything. Because the fish looked good, but it didn't taste good. So then I didn't put it on there. Then they had undergone a name change. So then it got more popular. Yeah. So folks was like, hey, have you tried the restaurant? I was like, no, bro, that is nasty. They put it's salty. They put all this stuff on there. So then I went. So then me and one of my friends, Midwest Coney, right?
Yeah.
So I'm real cool with him. Like I get real close to like some of the restaurant owners. So we went to the restaurant, and we saw one of the owners, and he was like, oh, y'all remember you was like, why you ain't got no black cooks? He said you weren't rude about it, but it made sense. And so he was like, bro, we know our food nasty.
Wow.
He said that?
Holy shit.
He said
is they still open?
Packed as ever.
And are they doing major business?
And then
let me ask you a question.
Hold on, let me. So then I was like, so in Houston, even though a lot of black Houston built by black Louisianans, right?
That's true.
People from Louisiana say that black folks in Houston can't cook. So you done heard that many times, right? So I of course I found out the reason. We had just talked about it. But I said, if you sit here serving Creole and Cajun food, don't sit here, don't let it be nasty, because the people from Louisiana are really gonna eat you alive. He said, oh, they already did that. They when they got their receipt, when they got like the little tab or whatever, they left on the thing, fuck you, you can't make our food.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I went in trying to help find them black cooks, because they don't know anything about Creole food or Cajun food, because they are international blacks. So trying to help them.
So when you say international blacks,
they weren't descendants of chattel slavery.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm not gonna say, so they weren't black Americans, right? So then
I got you. Then why would they try to open that type of restaurant?
But they don't know how it tastes. They don't know how the food tastes. So I'm like, I try to help them, but then things just didn't work out. And so then last thing, there's this dessert lady that I know real cool with, and she was like, baby, you heard about that restaurant? And I was like, yeah. She said, so many people, I'm trying to get my desserts in there, but everybody come to me and said it is nasty. So food bloggers have told me that it was nasty. Now this lady knows, and then I had a group of 6 friends. We went, everybody took their food back. Even the drinks was nasty. So I'm like, I can't put this on my page.
Right.
Because then if I was to put somebody like Kid Creole on there, then my father's gonna be like, man, the food that you posted the other day.
That's you watering down your page.
So I'm not gonna put nobody nasty on there.
All right. So we get that. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm glad that, first of all, I'm glad there's an actual criteria.
No, it's a criteria.
That's number one. I'm glad there's an actual criteria. Now, I want to discuss with you.
I just can't believe like what you just told me though.
That they said it was nasty.
The fact that they're like successful, or to a degree. Well, I mean,
because see, in Houston, there are a lot of restaurant, club, fusion type places.
For sure.
So
absolutely.
That's how they get they
You're right about that.
All right. So with that being said, recently you came out with a list a great list, by the way. The My Southern Brands, basically a list of any restaurant I would want to eat at. I've utilized it many a time.
I want to redo it.
Well, you have to redo it, but
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's not about actually the list that you created, which is great. It's about people poaching your list and utilizing it as if it's their own.
For like content creation.
For content creation and whatnot.
You know something I don't know?
I mean, I'm just asking, do you, is your listeners licensed to you, or do sometimes all-American people contact you? Do you know what an all-American is?
People who ain't black.
There you go, sir. They not Mexican either. Okay. Yeah. Do they sometimes contact you and want to utilize your stuff and use it as their own and whatnot? Yeah. What can you do about that when it comes to stuff like that? Like I mean, do you contact these people and say, "Hey, what's going on with you?" Do you?
I block them bitches.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just wanted to know because
I thought somebody was trying to do that this time, but they actually wanted me to write a piece, and it was going to be my name on it. So,
okay.
So I'm okay with that.
Now that is another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Now you don't utilize your actual name. Was that a conscious decision to make My Southern Brand the actual star as opposed to KeAndre?
I mean, so my face is on as far as cartoon. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Right.
When I was looking for a name, I wanted something to be me. And for the life of me, I don't know why Houstonians think that they're not country, because they really are.
Yeah, it's country.
I don't know if you know if you heard Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce really talk.
Oh no,
I'm just saying. So I said all that to say when I moved down here. Oh, you so country. So, but people know me by my accent. So I was like, okay, My Southern Brand. That's how you know me.
Okay.
By being country.
All right. Now that we gotten to your list and everything like that, recently, and I think it's good, and possibly a little bit. All right. So basically, what I want to say is there is now a Houston Black-owned restaurant food group. There's 2 of them. All right. Well, I like it, and I don't like it. The reason why I like it is because it does give people a chance to discuss restaurants that they've been to, but I also don't like seeing people shit on people in public. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of people that are taking black people to task that own restaurants that have never had this type of business in their life, as far as the amount of people they're serving.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not knowing how, like, I know how this works because I worked at a Luby's before.
Really?
I never been.
Oh yeah, I think I did know that.
Yeah, I worked at a Luby's before. Yeah. So I know how food ordering, how much food you can have on hand, how long something can stay in the kitchen before you have to cook it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you know.
And so you have people getting upset about either having to stand in line for longer with. It's not like these people automatically went out and hired more people. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't know, man. Just for me, I know I like all the good things that I see about it, but I do not like hearing people not directly going to that person and telling them. Mm-hmm. This is not for Yelp. This is the time for black people not really to use Yelp. This is the time for us to really use the DMs. Now, if the people get upset at you at the DMs, that's fine. But at least you took a direct approach instead of airing them out in public.
Yeah. So
what are your thoughts on?
I feel like I'm about to sing. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm about to hit a note. So hold on. Let me make sure the microphone right.
Yeah, for sure.
So all publicity is not good publicity. And if you get into that group, you will see that. So them folks just be like bashing. They get all the way down to the marriages, like who they married to and stuff like that. And but that's exactly how my DMs look. It look rowdy just like that. But I encourage that to go in my DMs and don't post that on my page because my brand is to talk about the positiveness, the positivity that is in our black food scene, right?
To elevate.
So, to elevate us, and then of course I talk about like black issues on my story, but I'm just fussing. You know, I'm just
right.
fussing. I'm not bashing. I'm just fussing and saying what needs to be said. But that those groups, I definitely think that they are doing us a disservice. And like what you just said, now all of a sudden folks want to ride the coattail of this black revolution, or I'm supporting everything black owned. I'm coming out with lists, I'm coming out with an app, I'm coming out with a website, black owned this, black owned that. And so with that, and I like it as long as you make it into a lifestyle. It's not a trend. We're not a trend. We're not the Kardashians.
Right.
We're not that, right? So with that, these people, they really didn't have, these restaurant owners did not even, and food trucks had not had time enough to really like do a mass hype.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, they went from one extreme to the next.
Right.
In less than 24 hours.
I'm talking about 24 hours.
So like people who don't, because okay, so that's the same episode that's happening that they're going through now. They go through that when I post them, but they already know because they paid for it. So, and then I already told them in general. So, but at the end of the day, like, but as customers, we don't see what goes on behind closed doors. So you really can't get upset with us,
right?
Where we really can't get upset with us as the customers because we don't see what goes on behind closed doors. All we know is we hungry. We skip breakfast. We didn't skip lunch because we want to go to this restaurant at 6:00. In the evening, and then
expect to get seated,
and not really expect to get seated, but expect to get your food in 15 minutes. So nobody's really thinking about this stuff.
That everybody's thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But then when you dig deep, everybody just don't think like we do. Like,
right.
Okay, well, you got to look at the fact that these people they still got Big Mama back there and two nieces and nephews back there. They need 5 more people to help them to run this kitchen. They need somebody to take the order and stuff. And Lord behold, those restaurants where the owner is cooking, answering the phone, and taking orders.
Now here's the other thing too. It's not even just about that. With the influx of all of that, guess what else is needed? More space in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. You're still working in the same confines.
Scale up, like your recipes, everything.
The recipes, the space. You need more burners. Literally. Some of these places now, some food trucks have now made enough money if they were, okay, not yet, but okay, it's time for me to start looking brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
But they need to be careful about that, though.
They have to be careful because we are here today, gone tomorrow type society. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We are fair weather friends when it comes to business or whatever. Mm-hmm. We'll be going somewhere, and one time it'll be like, "Oh no, it didn't hit today. I'm never going there again."
I want to ask you a question now. In the Mexican culture, do y'all give each other chances? Like say for instance, if you had gone to a restaurant, and this is not a comparison, but I just wanted to see where the hell we go wrong. But when you go to a Mexican restaurant, if they like, say for instance, those 5 check boxes that I talked about earlier. If they didn't check all of those boxes, will you just write them off, or will you go back again and just, you know?
So I could give you an example actually, because most Mexican people, like the idea of tacos, right? It's such a weird thing because people in Mexico don't eat tacos as we know them here. It's like a taco is like a vessel in which you deliver a protein to your mouth.
That's what Tex-Mex shit. Huh?
Exactly. Uh-huh. So like when we think about taco trucks here, it's like it already isn't authentic. So it's almost like you can't look at it that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there's this place that I like a lot. It's called 100% Taquito. It's on 59 South, right across from Lakewood Church. That's one of my favorite taco spots because it's clean It's simple. It's the same thing every time. It's consistent. You know, I guess you could say I have like my own personal checklist, but for me, it meets the criteria for what a taco at least should be, as far as like a Mexican street taco. But my dad, he hates that shit. He will not eat there because to him, it's like, it's just not authentic.
It's disrespectful.
It basically is, yeah. It's like, why would I pay? First of all, why would I pay $4 a taco when I could go to Mi Tienda or wherever and get me like a flank steak or whatever, cook it how I know how to cook it, and you know make that last however long. So looking at it that way, like like you know, even within our population, you know, it's looking at food that way, it's like you can't look at it in authenticity because it's not authentic.
Yeah, and I just found out that Cinco de Mayo
Exactly.
is not. So I don't celebrate that
like,
because Americans say we don't say. I'm sorry, I'm going.
Like that's like nothing. It's a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, Mexican restaurants here with Tex-Mex restaurants, you know, it's a gimmick. They have like, and this is another thing too. Now that we're on the subject, whenever I go to a Tex-Mex restaurant, they always have got salsa music playing. Mexicans don't listen to salsa. That's not a Mexican thing. So it's kind of like
this actually got some African
you know what
influences.
I mean? Yeah, salsa definitely got African influences.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the islands and stuff like that. That's where it all came from. But like as far as Mexican music and stuff, it's more like regional. It's more Mexico is this just really weird place, like different cultures in the south and the north, in the coast and stuff like that. So just on that point alone, it's just not what it is. Mexican food and Tex-Mex is like, you know,
two different things.
It's just hard to quantify in that sense. But to take it all the way back is like, there's places that I go to that it's almost like watching a movie. You got to suspend your disbelief. You know, like you got to know that what you're eating is not the real deal. It's just is what it is. Is there real authentic Mexican restaurants in Houston? Yes, there is.
I don't know where they at.
But as far as like taco trucks and like Tex-Mex stuff, that's not authentic. If you enjoy it for what it is, that's cool. But if you look at that as a representation of Mexican cuisine in general, it's just not what it is.
Wow. So, and how do your people feel about cooking that stuff? Knowing that it says blank Mexican restaurant, but they're not even cooking his authentic food. I always think about that stuff.
So like it is kind of like it's conflicting, but to take it back to what I said earlier is like a lot of people it's just what they have to do. It's not something they necessarily enjoy. And when you went to that restaurant and you had that food and you could tell that it's something that whoever was cooking it didn't enjoy cooking it, they probably don't enjoy eating it.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can get somebody a recipe. They don't mean that they know how to cook.
It's like you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree type of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sucks. It sucks that you know it's something that happens, but it's like man, like.
But everybody just want to. But I think people's motives are just to make money instead of providing 100%. People a cultural experience.
Yeah,
and then they charge you so much money.
And that's what sets it apart too. Because when you know, like when I go to like Lotus Seafood, for example, that's one of my favorite spots.
You done got it. He done said that word. But he done said that word. I want to ask. Go ahead, tell me.
Let's see, like Tex told me about that spot. When we first met, we worked at a cell phone store, OST and Scott, and you know, we would go there for lunch.
You sound like a tech guy. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's what we would go eat. And like as far as like a dirty, you know, the sauce and stuff like that, and the loud pack and stuff. That was my first exposure to it. So to me, like it's good. To me, it's like if in comparison,
it was the only thing I had to tell him where to go.
And you gotta remember, this is 2014, 2015.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
So you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah, 100%.
So when you walked into Lotus, did you think that? I mean, folks name dropping might as well.
Yeah.
So did you think that was black owned?
I did. Honestly, I did.
If my hair wasn't that on here, I'll take my hair off.
Let me tell you why though. The reason why I thought it was black owned was because of the food. Because of the, you know, the presentation, just everything. That's why. I had no, like, I'm not from the South, so I have no frame of reference for that stuff.
It's not that you're from the South, you're not even African American.
Exactly.
So I like your perspective.
Exactly.
Because what it is that not only are you having the same perspective that folks in my DMs have, oh, it's Lotus black owned. And so.
But you would think, just from I guess you would say like personal prejudice and just from what I had experienced as far as Southern food and as far as seafood like that. I've had seafood like that in many other places, some that I know for sure are black owned, but for that being like my first exposure to that kind of food, like that was it for me.
Now here's the other thing about Lotus, which I didn't notice till later. It's where they located, the places they open their stores. Some of them.
It's like accessibility wise.
Well, they purposely put them
in black areas.
In black areas.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of Asians do.
Now that makes sense too.
The beauty supply stores, the liquor stores, and now these hood restaurants. You think that because they're in Sunnyside that it's black owned? It's not.
Yeah. See, like I would have never known that.
And so that's something that really burns my biscuits as a food blogger. You can laugh. You was about to. That's Southern right there. That's Southern. So as a food influencer, I don't like that because that's something that we have to go through as black people.
Yeah, it's like an appropriation, right?
Yes, we get it from women trying to be black women.
Yeah.
We get it from folks try to talk like us. We get it from just all over. Like it's like our people don't like us, but then they like our culture. So within that, people know how to utilize our biggest spending power of the United States for their advantage.
Yeah.
By masking themselves as black owned, and it's not fair. Well, I mean, it's fair to them from a financial perspective, but I bet you now with this supporting black owned wave, they getting a lot of business because people still think that they're black owned.
Yeah.
And they coming to my 100%. DMs asking if they're black owned, but they're not saying anything. They're not like there's a place called Calio's in
Never heard
off the southwest side. But do you know what Calio is?
I don't really. So first and foremost,
no, I'm saying, do you know the name Calio?
I mean, that's the projects in New Orleans.
New Orleans. You hear me say? What do you say? The projects in New Orleans.
Sure.
You know what the projects is?
Yeah.
So why is there an Asian owned? Well, I think it was black owned or something, but we sell it to the Asians. But it's Asian owned and it's named after an infamous, now deceased projects in New Orleans, and they're selling to us. You got Swamp Kings.
Yeah.
With a gold. I think that crawfish got a gold too.
So first and foremost, for those that don't know, whereas crawfish might be one of his favorite things, it is not one of mine. And the main reason why is not because it's just too much work.
Ain't you from Houston?
I'm from Houston.
You didn't grow up in crawfish?
So the thing with me was I grew up eating more, I guess, what is considered soul food than crawfish. Even though my daddy and them from Louisiana, my grandmother, my grandmother and great grandmother, they from Jasper. So I got basically a clash when it comes to my blackness. But I know, and it's not that I don't like crawfish, but it just became too much of an adventure. And then I'm a loner by nature. So eating crawfish is a social gathering type thing.
I eat it in my house.
You might, but me, I'm not finna go through. I done all the, the Bow Bridge crawfish festivals and all that kind of stuff. I'm done with that. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? I don't need all them people around me while I'm eating like that. Now I eat crawfish at Two-Face still. That's still good to me. But just me getting 2 pounds of crawfish and making sure I got all that sausage, and I don't really eat corn. That's a return to sender. I don't, I don't get down.
That's why you poor.
Sir, look, I weigh 154 pounds as of the doctor this morning. 5'11".
I'm 210.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just saying though, like a lot of our foods are cultural experience or social gathering experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't always have to have a holiday like some people. You know what I'm saying? All Americans gather for holidays. We gather whenever we feel like it. You know what I'm saying? And some of our foods are specifically designed that way. Barbecue, no matter how it started, it's still specifically designed as a gathering food. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to throw some on the grill because we quarantine.
Right. That's a gathering food. you can eat fish, but a fish fry is a gathering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and my family know this too. You know, like I don't go to all the family gatherings.
Oh, you bougie like that?
No, I like to sleep, and I only
They be
have.
mad at you, huh?
I only have like I got like maybe an hour or an hour and a half of being with a bunch of other people. And cause the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in wherever the nap room is, cause you know at family gatherings there is a nap room. You know what I'm saying?
Where the baby be at?
I might go take a nap. You know what I'm saying? And get up and give me a second plate, and then I'm out. But I just
They talk about you when you do
and that's fine.
That's true.
That's fine.
I like being in the gatherings, man. You know, I don't really see my people that often either, so it's like.
Yeah.
So
Now it depends. Like when my little brother and them come
Yeah,
down.
so he from LA, I'm from Alabama, so we's like.
But I'm saying like when my little brother and them come down
From where?
from Dallas. I got 3 brothers that live in Dallas. So when they come, then it might be different. Cause we'll play cards, we'll smoke cigars, we'll play some dominoes. But you know, like I'm kind of the only one of, you know, however many people that's in my age range. You know what I'm saying?
60s.
Sir, don't play yourself. I'll be 49 this Sunday.
You
Not
must have
60.
gray hair starting at
I had
6th grade.
gray hair when I was 25. My son is now 26. He had gray hair when he was 24. But it just starts off like right here. It starts off like right here. Like it was just like right here.
Salt and pepper.
And then, no, I'm talking about like one little patch right
This
there.
your new name, Salt and Pepper.
You know, and then all of a sudden it was
This
where
portion
it
of the show is
was.
sponsored by Just for
Salt and
Men.
Pepper.
Sir, I am never doing that. People always be asking me that too. Are you ever gonna dye your hair for what?
Salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Don't do that. My dad does that shit. It looks crazy. Like,
Man,
my
there's a
dad-
guy that I work with at FedEx, and it'd be so funny. He like almost
You
70.
drink coffee at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I do.
That explains everything.
I do. But I gotta stop doing that. The doctor say I got a lot of stuff doctor say I gotta stop doing.
Cause when you get gray hair, that's when
It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just certain
your
stuff.
body going through wisdom. That's what it's going through.
Sir, I've been had wisdom.
We
Okay, and
understand,
hey,
but your kidneys and all that looking like your gray hair. That's what it's.
Hey, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't so from my yesterday's workout, so you know what I'm saying? And I'm over here look like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm 49, you know what I'm saying?
But
You
it's
white.
big though.
Hey, my clothes fit me well. I ain't gotta, you know, I can buy off the rack, get custom, it don't matter. I'm all right.
Oh, I mean,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
you
saying?
trying to Jamie? I mean,
And it's cool. Hey, it's cool, man. One day, hey, you keep working out, you won't be built like a Teddy Graham.
but guess what? I can't help that. I just can't. My
So let me
legs
ask
gonna
you this.
always get. If my legs gonna get that big, I can't.
what
I'm
can you
from
do?
Alabama. What can you?
I
I'm
got
from
you.
Alabama.
I got you. Now, there is, let's get serious though. Let's get back on a serious note.
Walter Cronkite?
So I do have this question.
Douglas, what's going on? Tell
I
me.
do have this question for you. No, this is serious though.
Okay.
With the type of eating you do,
Oh, I see.
you know what I'm saying?
He ain't been.
I think that's where he's taking it.
No, I'm just saying, with the type of eating you do you feel that you have to take extra precautions when it comes to the portions?
No.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like right now, your metabolism is in a good place to where you just work out and you're pretty good. What are some things that you do not eat though? Like you seem to like eat a lot of different stuff, but what won't you eat?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like mashed potatoes. I don't like a lot of soul food. I grew up on it. I just, cause you know, like say for instance, if your mama make, I don't even know what Mexican food is now, cause you just in
They got
school.
rice, they got
Yeah,
beans.
he done
I don't know
dispelled
what
the whole
Mexican food
thing.
is. So wherever Mexican cuisine
Yeah.
dinner your mama make, it may not taste different. Like it may taste different from your aunties.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
it does, for
So,
sure.
so this kind of like how soul food is. I'ma only eat soul food at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
Cause everybody put different seasons in there.
Right.
That's
Supposed to put too much nutmeg in their
Don't measure
candy
anything
yams.
either.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's
No,
they
no,
make
we don't
stuff.
measure nothing.
Yeah, my family they don't measure anything.
Yeah. So
So it's like one day you might get a different, you might get more cumin or whatever. I don't cook so, but I mean that's basically what it is.
yeah. So it's like and then like soul food restaurants cook for people that may be diabetic. So I'll be wanting a little salt in my
Right. I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
I be wanting a little salt, but of course, you know, folks gotta. There's a lot of allergens, and you know, we be ready to sue folks.
Right.
We ready to sue.
Do you eat at any All-American restaurants other than McDonald's? Do you know what All-American means? White. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I said it at first.
Yeah, McDonald's, but
I eat Raising Cane's.
Really?
Yes.
That used to be their little go-to.
I eat Raising Cane's. I had Wendy's today, but I think I'm gonna stop going because they be endorsing Trump.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of sucks because I had to throw Wendy's off. I mean, the 4 for $4 is hard to beat. I'm very cheap. You know what I'm saying?
You say you cheap?
Yeah, I'm cheap.
Man,
Supposed to be great.
we have to go to our pantry because of the Goya.
You heard what I said?
Y'all so. Yeah, I just disregarded all that, but I'm talking about the Goya thing. So y'all getting rid of it?
Oh, I actually didn't have any Goya shit in my pantry anyway because like. Dude, we just buy the big ass thing of beans, you know what I mean?
They may not even be Mexican, huh?
Yeah, like that's just like.
What is Goya?
It's man.
So it's a seasoning. Well, most people use the seasonings.
I know what it is. I'm saying, but what is it? Because he didn't. I don't know what Mexican food is anymore.
I mean, it's just like canned anything. You know, they got canned beans, canned rice, canned spices or whatever. But it's to give you an example. It's like what if somebody canned like red beans and rice? You know what I mean? Like you know, it's.
But is it? It's not authentic Mexican food.
I guess
it's the cheat code.
You can say it is, but
it's the cheat code. It's that I'm trying to think of what that. What's that?
Goya, because they got a factory out there in Katy.
What's that? Glory. What is that canned food? Glory. What is it?
Glory. You know we don't eat canned food.
But I'm just saying. But do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I think it's called Glories.
Glories or whatever. So Goya is like the cheat code if you don't want to cook your beans down, or you know, like Glory has like a.
Your daddy make canned food.
oh.
Yeah, I haven't cooked. I don't.
She tired of spaghetti.
No. I'm saying.
She said,
so first of all,
spaghetti.
let me state this to you. When it comes to that, so first of all, my spaghetti bomb. Okay, so
But you just tired of eating it.
Well, the thing is, her mother would cook most of the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it had nothing to do with that I wouldn't cook. I just really didn't. I didn't really have to.
So you really don't eat.
I eat a lot.
But y'all be eating out a lot.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I can cook. I just don't cook that much. I eat out a lot, just based on my time. You know, I work one job 12 hours, another job 3 hours. I'm working almost 15, 16 hours a day.
You be getting coffee every
but I
6
eat
hours.
every 6 hours. Now, actually, I don't. So here's the fact. I don't actually drink as much coffee as people think.
But you every morning, top of the morning with your
First of the day.
First of the day. And that some days that might be the only cup I drink. But I don't drink coffee like I used to. Like when I first got sober, I don't drink coffee like I used to.
You said first got sober.
Sober. I haven't had a drink in almost 7 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
this what made your kidneys go bad. I'm just
he over here gonna be on dialysis next week based on this diabetes diet that you on. You gonna have the sugars. Watch.
The what?
So, I apologize, Franco. What do they call diabetes in Mexico?
Diabetes.
The who?
Diabetes.
Oh, so we call it the sugars.
I'm trying to think, is there like a colloquial term for that?
Yeah, because I'm about to ask you
Yeah.
this. Like,
I don't think there is.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he called it, but in my family we call it the sugars.
But guess what? I had my blood work done in June, so you ain't got to worry about.
Well,
none
all
of that.
right then. Come on now, I'm gonna give me some.
We're in a pandemic.
All right, whatever. Hey, but you know what? This has actually been kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Y'all ain't got nothing to eat. I'm supposed to be a food blog and all food.
So here's the deal.
You eat it all the time.
Mr. Food Blogger. And this is not to say that you have some favorites, but if someone was coming in from out of town, say a family member you hadn't seen in a long time, you wanted to, as opposed to cook for them, you want to take them to a few places. What would be the first 3 places you would take someone to black owned?
I'm gonna do 5.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna take,
and look at the camera while you're saying this.
Hold on. We ain't going to your house. We ain't gonna eat no spaghetti.
Hey.
Where we going to? We definitely gotta go to Kid Creole.
Okay.
On Wednesdays we he actually have catfish. But me and Des, we joke about this all the time. The owner got to take them to our girl, Miss Ella.
Okay.
Crumville, got to get them some treats. What you say? Brownies, stuffed cups, and cookies. I saw know this by heart.
Yeah, we are too. She's our title sponsor.
Yeah, she's our title sponsor. So
by heart. She says the same thing all over again. So, where else would I take them so we can get some good food? I take them to Who Dat. I take them there. I guess I gotta take them to get a daiquiri.
Okay.
So, I got like 3 daiquiri spots. So, like 4 that I really like, but for chicks and giggles, Bourbon Street daiquiris.
Okay.
Daiquiri. Then the last thing, I have a Breakfast Club.
Okay.
They got to experience the Houston staple.
Okay. Now I'm very surprised that you not say one place before we even. Nah, not even that. You seem to like grooves a lot.
Oh, see, he be in my stories.
Yeah, man, he's very involved. He does his research for sure.
No, but he be bothering me. but
that's part of the research.
But see, here's the thing, groove. But you didn't say we was going out though.
Again, I said 5 places to eat. I didn't say.
Well, we gotta go to Grooves. See. Here's the thing. That food that I posted, Grooves got a good brunch. The brunch food that I posted from Grooves, they only do it on Saturdays, but everybody go on Fridays.
Okay.
So we'll have to go to brunch at Grooves.
And guess what?
What?
That's it.
There's number 6.
Okay, so it's a bonus. Now, here at Doing Dope Things, Franco likes to ask all of our guests a question at the end. Franco, would you please ask them that question?
So we always like to wrap up with something that's a little bit further than conventional wisdom, something that's more internal, something that drives you, something that motivates you, your passion. What's something that you could tell people? It could be anything about just either following your dreams, about doing what you want to do, about being yourself, about doing something in life, about, just even if it's not doing something meaningful, it's doing something that you want to do. What's something that you would tell people to help them achieve that? Anything.
Your words of wisdom.
Previous words of wisdoms have included every house needs a bucket.
Whoa. You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Just be authentic. Really be authentic. So my background is really engineering.
Okay.
I mean, shit's make me depressed, so I'm trying not to really talk about it too much.
Please don't, because I have a future wannabe person that's going to study civil engineering pretty soon back
I
there.
went to school for, so I was laid off 6 times, y'all. So, and corporate America is not a place where you can really be authentic, and especially
definitely.
as black people. We can't be authentic, right? And so and anybody, if you can't be your authentic self, you lose yourself and you don't perform well. Yeah. You feel lonely. So, but get into a space where you can really be authentic, you'll really see yourself just excel, because when you're authentic, people can see the God in you, the good spirit. They can see the passion and stuff like that. And when you're not authentic, you just a bitch, because you can't be yourself. It's like hungry, get a sneaker. Before you eat a sneaker, you all beat
You're
stuff like
else.
that. That's how you are. So that's why I say be authentic, and that's one reason why my platform grew so much, is because I'm authentic.
Okay.
I'm gonna say what's on my mind, but it's not gonna be disrespectful.
I got you.
And also just find your passion in the niche.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, folks, this is KeAndre from My Southern Brand. Oh, one other thing before we forget.
Oh, shucks.
You need to tell the people where they can reach you.
20. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
281-330.
8004.
I'm
Okay.
just playing.
No, but just tell them how to reach you online.
So you can go to My Southern Brand on IG, at My Southern Brand on Twitter. I really don't tweet that much. I'm surprised because Black Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is a good deal.
You've been keeping that website alive for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Plus.
I'm on Facebook, My Southern Brand. Then I got a website that I really need to update is www.mysouthern.
We'll talk about all that off camera. So, folks, there you have it. This has actually been pretty interesting. My name is Sex.
My name is Franco. This is Doing Dope Things. We thank you guys for joining us. You have a lot of choices on how you can waste your time. We thank you for spending time with us.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, hit the. Should let you.